Welcome back. We still have Mr. Kayode Ogundamisi with us. So, the National Delegates Conference of the Nigeria Labour Congress ended in crisis last week Thursday as participants failed to elect a new president to succeed Abdul Wahid Umar. During the election, some discrepancies were observed in the ballot papers, which led to allegations that resulted to the throwing of chairs, fist fights, destroying of the ballot boxes, something we are really familiar with in this area. How can the NLC, known as the pressure group to checkmate issues in the country, when their own house is not in order? It's your view, Lady County. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You could tweet to us at your TVC. All right.
I have a question that I'd like to direct to him. Now, 2013, the Nigerian Governors Forum, 35 members, they had an election to pick a leader. In fact, that forum has scattered since then because 16 became more than 19. NLC, 5,000 delegates to pick one leader is scattered.
What of Ekiti? Ekiti, where the
seven members.
Was able to
impeach speaker.
So the numbers are always, what exactly?
Well, the first thing is that, you know, the state of education in Nigeria is not something you can write home about, and mathematics is becoming a huge issue, you know. So counting numbers is not only a problem students have in schools. Politicians now have a problem with counting. In Lagos, the Lagos PDP primaries with Koro and Agbaje, they had a problem with counting the number of delegates and votes. And then the PDP 19. So I think it's a national issue that we have to look at. Maybe it's a problem with arithmetics. But beyond that, I think with the more pressure groups become fertile grounds where there's a lot of resources that are pumped into it.
Pause. That's word right there. Because it's a serious fertile ground. This is all about money. Has nothing to do with leadership. They're about who can do it, who cannot do it. It's about money. Let me give you a quick example.
When we were in the students' movement, during our days, we were in the pro-democracy movement, you would go to jail for fighting for the country. So not a lot of people want to be student activists. In fact, people will say, my mom had said, don't become a student activist too, because we had to go to Sokoto sometimes to hold meetings in mosque. With the military will be chasing us all over the place. But with the advent of democracy, NAN's leadership would meet with the president. There's a budget in the presidency. The labor movement would also meet with the presidency. There's negotiations during the oil subsidy crisis. There was a lot of fertile Ghana must go bags for the pressure group. So crisis would emerge for leadership tussle. It's the same in the national election.
Democracy.
I don't think. Yes, now.
No. The working means liberalism.
I don't think it's democracy. This thing is about individuality. It's about what your it's about what your principles are, what you stand for. If you stand for corruption, of course, it is only corruption that will be feeding you all the time.
So is it everybody in Nigeria now that is corrupt, from students' body?
Of course,
I think it applies to every other angle, because I think generally in Nigeria we're corruption prone, because it's not just the NLC. Even as way back as student union governments, when they're holding elections, you see different fights just for votes.
Even in the churches, to elect
the new chairman.
Of course, the new GO. So it is. That's why I'm saying that it's beyond democracy. It's gone. You know, I mean, into our bloodstream. You know, so we have to really flush it out.
Who are the we? Nigerians.
Everybody. I'm not excluding.
No, Nigerians or black people in general.
Myself. In short, black people. It's not only Nigerians. You know, but for me, I want to go back to NLC because I was wondering, like, okay, how visible has NLC been since Occupy Nigeria?
2012.
Even before then.
Even before then.
True.
You know, so I wonder that, okay, we've not really heard anything about this new NLC chairman.
Because even
outside Adams or Shomole, I think that is the only person that I really saw that struggled.
Yes.
You know, that is what I
wanted to say concerning that Occupy, it wasn't necessarily an NLC project. the people stood out.
And
because
they were tired.
it wasn't about, because women...
They hijacked it.
Yeah, it was, of course they hijacked it.
NLC hijacked
it. wasn't necessarily an
and then
NLC
sold us
initiative.
out.
Well, we don't know about the selling.
Yes.
We don't know about the selling out.
They did. That's our belief.
No,
that
they
They
negotiated.
were the ones who told us
negotiated.
to go back home and come back on Monday, only for us to see military on the street over the weekend.
That's a different issue. Let's not go for that.
I think I wrote my dissertation on the labor movement, and to me, you mentioned Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. I would disagree a bit slightly that the last time we had a strong, committed president of the NLC was Sumonu. Alhaji Hassan Sumonu. Those were those days
heard of him.
when people stood, and irrespective, they were not interested in politics, they were interested in the people. And yes, Comrade Oshiomhole played he played a quite important role in the labor movement. But in terms of courageous leadership, unbending leadership, in the mode of real leadership, Sumonu, I've forgotten one of the founding fathers of the NLC. With the Occupy Nigeria thing, I think it was a people's movement, but immediately the labor movement, it's not just the NLC, the TUC, you know, went into negotiations on behalf of the people, and the leadership of the Occupy movement was literally conceded to that movement, and that's why it failed.
Right. I brought up the mission statement for this Nigerian Labour Congress. I went online to go and search. They said the mission of Nigerian Labour Congress is to organize, unionize, and mobilize all categories of Nigerian workers, defend and advance the political, economic, social, and cultural rights of Nigerian workers, emancipate and unite Nigerian workers and people from all forms of exploitation and discrimination, achieve gender justice in workplace and in NLC, strengthen and deepen.
Mission or theory?
Yeah, mission statement. Strengthen and deepen the ties and connection between Nigerian workers and mutual natural allies in and outside Nigeria, and lead the struggle for the transformation of Nigeria into a just, humane, and democratic society.
Have they been doing that?
I have not seen anything that has a semblance of this big grammar that they have put in front of the mission.
Not even
that
during
behavior last week, because
it's not even humane.
Can't even define
Now,
humane.
let me tell you what that behavior is. You know, in is it mathematics now? They said the aggregate of a subset usually has the qualities of the set.
Yes.
Now, what you see in the Nigerian Labour Congress is a reflection of what Nigeria is.
Yes, Sanj, you're going to do something.
There's really nothing.
Let me take this call first. Good morning, Shola. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still on.
Morning,
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I just want to make a report first of all. At times, your station will go for maybe like 2-3 days, and will not have access to you. Please, I would like you to tell maybe the people in the technical aspect of your station to see maybe there's anything they can do on that. Okay. Then, pertaining to your topic today.
Yes.
There are lots of things wrong with Nigerian station, and Nigeria cannot be trusted. The Nigerian government, there are so many things wrong, and I think the Nigerian masses, we have lots of things in our hands to work on, but we don't know our rights, and we don't know how to work on it.
All right, thank you so much. Let's take some tweets, please.
Okay. It's more on Joe Dumaki. Okay, Team General Brown says, NLC election problem show that only APC can conduct a free and fair election in this country from their primary result. Okay, no, he has a good point, at least from the primaries that they conducted. But further, we see Olaoluwa says, the only natural disaster we have in this country is bad leadership. These corps are very selfish, self-serving individuals. So I think that's about it too.
All right.
What do you think? I definitely think it's about time we bring out a revolution in our different offices. This NLC, they are on top and they are managing affairs like you read out their their mission statement, unifying and avoiding exploitation. And so far, they've not been showing out stuff like this. If you're going to occupy a position of power, it's not just them, even National Assembly. It's not the first time there's a disagreement and they start throwing chairs and ballot boxes and everything, of which, why are you carrying out your aggression on the ballot boxes and the chairs? That is why you're educated. When you're educated, you communicate. That's what you do. You talk to people, settle issues out.
Let me take Said's call. Good morning, Said. Are you there?
Well, I'm still there. Good morning.
Please go ahead.
So I would like to make my contribution on this. Like, Nigeria is a very peaceful country. We are very lovely. Yeah. If you walk out on the street, you will see beautiful people, beautiful men out there on the street. But it's unfortunate on what we are seeing today on our leaders. But this is what I will just say about Obasanjo and Jonathan. It takes a very long while for someone to trust someone. So Obasanjo trusted Jonathan. Yeah. But Jonathan betrayed him based on their secret relationship. So Obasanjo had no choice than to say, you want to betray me because I put you there, I trusted you. So you were just trying to play smart by creating another capital.
All right.
Okay.
We don't know that for a fact.
It's a solution I'm trying to bring out for you now. Where you're working as your position in the company, sorry, do they pay for your food? Do they pay for your everything?
Allowances.
You see, the cost of governance in this country is too much. Why you see a lot of people, the estate have not even moved into. They're already quarreling over who is chairman, who is this, who is that, because they know that in Nigeria, as soon as you occupy a particular position,
you're in money.
You have a lot of control over money. Okay. If we can reduce that cost of governance, I'm sure that it will not be this dramatic.
I just want Nigerians not to fall into this trap of the ruling class defining the debate, discussing Obasanjo and Jonathan's personal issues. We should be talking about the quality of life. Is your life better 4 years after the last government? Yes. Quality education, good growth. So let us, the more they try to divert our attention, let us go back and focus on those issues.
Thank you so much, Kayode. Appreciate you being here. When we return, why are women not pulling enough weight, or are they pulling enough weight in the polity? We have our guest here in the studio to discuss that with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Women constitute about 51% of Nigeria's population and are playing vital roles in the social reproduction of the society. In spite of this, society has not totally accorded them a enabling political atmosphere to actively participate in decision-making relative to their male counterparts. Why are women not in the core? When I say core, there's a meeting after the meeting, there's a meeting for the meeting, decision-making in politics. Joining us to shed more light on this is a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Adefunmilayo Tejosho. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So good to have you.
Nice to be
here. And you actually look prettier in person than on television.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we know now, it's 2015, election year, people are trying to get into office, and we're hoping to see more women out there. I know some women have tried, but either they're not pushed or they're not encouraged. They felt that maybe the party leaders feel like, okay, maybe the men should go ahead of them instead of the women. Or we find that the women are being used as the deputy governors or the assistant or the PA or the speaker or something. Those kind of things. That's where we find women. Why is it so? And how do you or do we plan to change it in Lagos State?
Well, I think that in Lagos State, you know, we're getting there. I mean, we demand more, but we're getting there. We have to appreciate our leaders in my party, the APC, you know, very sensitive to the needs of women. But, you know, we have to continue to fight as a unit of women, because sometimes women are actually the worst enemies of other women. Yes. And that also doesn't help people. But we see where, you know, the APC, before ACNAD, we were told not to pay for our forms to run for elections. You know, they tried as much as possible, the party, to make it easier for women to get involved. But the problem we have in the society is the problem of poverty and violence. You know, because as a woman, when you go, you know, to campaign, when you're trying to, you know, talk to the people, your opposition tries to scare you back into your house. You know, they send area boys to harass you. You know, they sometimes it's just not comfortable enough for the woman. But then we have a saying that if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And when you say kitchen, we normally associate that with women. So if a woman can stand the heat of the kitchen, she must be able to stand the heat of elections and so on and so forth. It is not easy. You know, you have to take care of your husband, you have to take care of your children, you have to take care of your home.
How have you stood the heat? Because you've gone
way
high.
You see, the thing about politics is that there's the good, there's the bad, and the ugly. And you must be ready to, you know, overcome every single aspect of it. You don't get carried away with the good. You don't get drowned with the ugly. You don't get drowned with the bad.
Okay.
Or taken away, carried away with the bad. So what you just try to do is keep your head above water and make sure that you're focused. As a woman, there's a lot of distraction. There's sexual harassment. There's intimidation. There are many things going out there. But for a woman to excel, you must not compromise. You must believe in yourself. Your husband or your spouse must believe in you. And your children must understand why you are there. As long as you communicate with your home, then you manage your home very well. You are able to do things outside. I remember when I was in Queen's College, you know, my secondary school, and there was a teacher that before she got married, she was really, really nice and sweet, and everybody wanted to take her class. But as soon as she got married, there was some form of abuse. We did not know. But every time she came to class and she was cranky, we'll make this little joke that, oh, her husband probably beat her this morning. But to us, it was a joke. We were young. We were 13 years old, 14, some 12, 10. And it was funny. But later on, when I did my NYSC, and I met the lady later on, she explained to me that, you know, she went through a little bit of that domestic violence, but could not communicate with people. And then, you know, I started to understand that as a woman, you go through a lot. But people probably don't understand what you are going through.
Now, let me come to this angle. We've seen a lot of women leaders from your party, and I must say that they've been able to hold their own. Yes. Because we've seen Kemi Nelson's been here, we've been Abike. You see quite a number of them, and they're all well-spoken, and they're educated, and you can see that they want to give their all.
Yes.
How come we've not been able to get as many women to replicate these kind of women? Because we've seen them, but there are so many of them. Because we still see the other ones are just there. They're like almost empty.
Sorry, let me add to your question, because what we see now is that we see a lot of women, but we don't see competence. You know, we don't see substance in whatever it is. Like, for instance, now the people that are coming out for presidency and all that, we have not really felt that this woman is truly ready, like she's, you know, the way her male counterparts are doing. You know, so where is the place of competence in whatever it is that you're doing? I feel
that the environment has to be ready to accommodate a woman. A woman of substance, an intelligent woman, is not going to go there to fail. You must test the waters and see if the people are indeed ready for a woman.
Wow.
You must know what you are doing. Yes, because you have to be intelligent for you to go out there. You are not just going to go there to fail because you want to encourage other women. You go there to make sure that you excel, you succeed, you're victorious. And for you to be able to do that, you must survey the terrain and see if they're ready for you. If you look at America, for example, Hillary Clinton has been trying for a long time to become president of the United States of America. She has not been successful. You know, they were even good enough to put a black man before a woman, which we see that even over there, they tilt more towards the men than the women. But over there, there's a keen competition. You know, I tell a lot of young girls that I mentor that a lot of times we say, what a woman can do, a man can do better. What a woman can do. I'm tired of hearing that. And that we should key into the fact that what a woman cannot do can never be done. We should key into the fact that we must, you know, train ourselves in our mind of who we are, what we want to be, how we want to portray ourselves, and that gives you that edge over the men. And also, with the issue of a woman becoming president, or a woman becoming governor, or a woman becoming anything top like a speaker or what have you, we must be ready. Because and I believe that now the women
are ready.
But they have not put themselves out for elections.
There's a lady here in APC, Mrs. Tokumbo, I can't remember her name. She also ran for governorship in Lagos State. Yes. And she was looking for support. I'm trying to remember her surname. You know, she tried to push her, but did she get that kind of support that
you see, let me explain something to you. When you put yourself out that you want to run for elections, you must also touch those of us that are already there.
Thank you.
I never met her.
Okay.
And I feel that, you know, you have to provide a forum where you can talk with other women. Let us give you our own experience, no matter how, and support, no matter how small.
Women are 51% of the population.
Exactly. So we must reach out to other women.
And feel your pulse.
And feel the pulse of the women.
Yes,
and those are the things. Men, when they want to do anything, they don't come to the women stricto sensu. They go to their peers and talk with them, get that support and go out there. So we need to start working as a unit. That is why when you look in South Africa, the black people there worked as a unit to get out of that apartheid situation. And we as women, let me just not restrict just to black women, we must work as a unit to get out of this stereotype that we have to deputize.
Fantastic. I have to take a quick break now. When we return, more questions for Honorable. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, let's start with Sanzi. Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, so you are, of course, a prominent woman occupying a powerful position in the House of Assembly under the party APC. Now, I'm asking you this question particularly because I want to understand APC's plan for women in government. Presently, the government right now is offering, according to what they're saying, 35% positions for women. Yeah. Now, does APC have plans to counter that ratio? Because as far as I'm concerned, 35% is not enough. It's either 50-50 or nothing.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Well, I see that, let me talk for Lagos State, for example, because that's where I've represented for a while. And I see that apart from those positions, elective positions or appointments, you see that there are a lot more female judges, there are a lot more female permanent secretaries, there are a lot more female excelling in positions of authority. I believe that the APC-led government of Lagos State has actually, you know, tilted to support women more so that we can excel, because we appreciate the fact that we've had the short end of the stick for a very long time. But of course, we're asking for more, because we know that we can do better. We know that there's nothing the men are doing that the women cannot do. We're just as educated as the men. We have our masters, some have PhDs, some, you know, yes. And wherever you put a woman in position, she has so much to prove that she puts in extra effort to prove that she can do it. And when I got into the House of Assembly in 2003, I was the only woman out of 40 members in 2003. It was tough. That was when I actually passed the law on domestic violence, and that was even tougher, because you are one woman talking about domestic violence. They look at you as if you are talking, it's a gender thing, not knowing that it is not gender based. But after I was able I started up as Deputy Chief Whip. That was the last position, Principal Officer position. But I handled it. And from there, I became Deputy Speaker. But there are challenges galore. Because as a woman, but because I was able to hold my own, after that we became 2 women, then we became 5 women, then we're now 7 women. So obviously, you know, I did something right to encourage other women to come on board. But it's not easy.
Hassan, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Please go ahead.
And Sandy and the honorable member of Lagos State House of Assembly. The issue of women participation in politics should be a matter of choice, not a matter of a kind of protest or a kind of propaganda. In the sense that what I see in this issue, people go for more of quota system than competence. And women, when you look at Nigeria very well, women are fully in charge right from independence. Women are the ones influencing men in their bedroom. In the morning, a man will come and implement what his wife told him is better. And now, what I'm seeing in Nigerian women is confrontation. It's fully confrontation. When somebody is telling you to give me certain percentage, you are looking at it as a quota system. You are not looking at it as democracy, where people have the right to choose. You are looking at it from the angle of the position. The women are in charge. You cannot take your take and have it.
Thank you so much. One second. Let me throw this out. Do you agree?
Well, what he's saying, he's making a bit of sense with what he's saying. I'm not against what he's saying in entirety. I always say that we need that affirmative action, but we need to use it for competence, not just because I'm a woman. So there are two different issues. There are very competent women that try, but because they're women, they don't give them the opportunity. So in that aspect, that affirmative action would help them because it will help them to say, this woman, she's educated, she knows what she's doing, she's willing and capable to make a difference. Then it works for her. But not just because we have to have 35% women, then you just pick all the women that you think you can control and put them in. So it's debatable.
Yes,
we feel, if you look at South Africa,
if we have like 50% competent women, I mean, the 35% available space, is it not shortchanging us?
It is. But you see, when they say 35%, they're saying a minimum. At least just to make sure that, you know, some people don't accommodate women at all. Okay. And we need that 35% for us to understand that, you know, this constitutional representation it can be a good thing. Because if you look at South Africa, it is important to them because they've realized what they've been through and they realize the need to be able to balance those things. We need to do that as well.
While we're on the tweets, let me come to Jumoke.
But based on merit.
Now, Mrs. Kemi Nelson came here and said that the lady vying for governorship in Lagos, she had never met her, although the lady said that she had sent her a letter or something. You have also come to the answer that you have never met this lady. Now, if a woman who is competent, because competence is number one, not gender, wants to go into politics, what does she need to do?
Okay, there are several things you need to do. First of all, you have to identify your terrain. Who are the people already in positions of authority? Because, you know, I won't want to use that mentoring word, but you need some people that are experienced that can tell you how to go about it, what you need to do, how you need to do it. Now, first you identify those women. There are 7 members of House of Assembly that are female. Identify those 7 women. You don't have to know our houses. Come to the House of Assembly and demand that you want, even people that are of very low status, come to us and demand they want to see us. And we have to see them because that is why we're there. So talk less of somebody that is running for governor as a woman. You demand to see your representatives. Because we're representing you in the House of Assembly. We're not just the voice of the people of our constituency, we're the voice of the women in Lagos State. You demand to see us. You see the commissioners that are women. You see the SAs that are women. You see the deputy governor. You see the woman leader of APC. Yes, we have forums that we dialogue often. The deputy governor, you know, has a quarterly interactive session with the women that are in positions of authority in Lagos State, elective appointments. Then we have a secretariat, Acme Road, where, you know, the woman leader, now Mrs. Kemi Nelson, has an office. She has staff. She has a deputy woman leader where you can go. If she's not there, her deputy is there, and you can talk to them and ask for time with these people. Let me see some tweets. I don't want to, so there's a lot that you need to do. You know, and you see, we have to remember something. My leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says this thing, that power is not served a la carte. Nobody is going to give you anything for free. Even in free time, nothing is free anymore. So why should we now be demanding that, you know, we want to pick you from home? I should come and meet you because you want to run for governor. You must prove to me that you know your onions, and then I would support you in every way.
Let's take some tweets.
I like that.
Please, I need to give a round of applause first.
I have to say something. No, you got to find. I have something I must say. I have noticed that a lot of women leaders, especially under your party, they're not too loud. I've seen all of you. I've seen even Tinubu's wife, Mrs. Remy,
Yes.
the Kemi Nelson, you guys are conservative. You don't see this too much makeup, loudness. Is that a tactic to get us to understand how serious you are, or is that just your personality?
I think it's just our personality. I don't think it has anything to do with you know, trying to look serious or what have you. I feel that it's the upbringing as well. My mom will tell you that your appearance is your letter of recommendation. Sometimes you forget your IV at home, and if you look good, they will let you in anyway, that this person must have been invited. But when you look tacky, when you look OTT, like my children will say, over the top, then you look ridiculous, you know, because you don't have to, you know, my sons will tell you that less is more. True. My daughter will tell you that don't be OTT, mom. So when the way you communicate with your growing children, or the way you have been communicated to, lets you know what you should be. So it's not, and I believe that maybe that is what the APC see in us, that they continue to support us, that we are not
so
over the top.
So you use their money to go and buy, hold on, you know use their money to go and buy $5 million diamond.
Or even weave on, but the Brazilian. I gotta go.
Sorry, one last week.
I gotta go. Sorry. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank
we have
you.
to bring you back. I think we actually had a good conversation.
We really love you.
So we'd like to have you
enjoyed
back because we want to
myself too.
aspire to be like you.
Yes, I'm available.
So anytime you come around. All right. Don't forget to watch a repeat broadcast at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch previous episodes by going to YouTube/TV Entertainment and search for Your View. Your vote is your right. Don't waste it. Use it wisely. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.